Hey, Beth. Beth Helms. Good morning, June.
Larry,
Good morning.
good morning to you. Hope you're doing well.
I'm feeling better.
So glad. So happy.
Little coughing going on, but this too shall pass, as they say.
Oh, Ron, you don't even sound well.
I'm a dog girl, I tell you, but I don't feel bad as I did.
Happy about that.
That's right. How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty well. I'm all well as far as I can tell, Larry. It was kind of touch and go there for a spell, but I think I'm good.
I'm gonna say I'm good too.
Yes. Yes, indeed.
In the other way, as they say.
All the way live.
That's right.
Yeah, great. I think we're the first two on, but
It was on a minute ago.
Mayor, Beth is on, Alex is on,
everybody's
Larry's on. Those are council. Myself, Chief Hendrick, John Rogers, Jeff, Alicia, and June are all on as well.
wonderful.
So
Thank
we're
you.
waiting on William Goldfinch, Justin Jordan, and Amanda Butler.
Okay, wonderful. So yeah, they'll see me.
Yeah.
That's clear.
I'm trying to figure out how to get me back.
I need to undo this. Okay.
And if everyone can mute until we're ready to start, that'd be great.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Mayor, that was Justin Jordan arriving. Mayor, Councilman Goldfinch has joined the Zoom as well.
Adam, I don't have video. I'm just on the phone.
That's fine, sir. Thank you. William, would you mind muting your phone until we get there? If you can figure it out, if you can't, don't worry about it. Mayor, it is 10:30. I do not see Amanda Butler in the room, but whenever you're ready to start, we can begin.
It is 10:30 on September 29th, 2022. I officially open this emergency meeting of the Conway City Council. I am aware that we have several staff members present. We have Adam Emmerich, John Rogers, Lee Hendrick. If there are others, we'll just add to that list later. But I'll do a roll call for the council just to be certain that we have a quorum. Councilman Larry White, are you present?
Yes, ma'am, present.
Thank you. Councilman William Goldfinch, are you with us?
I'm here.
I'm here.
Okay. Councilman Alex Hyman,
Yes, I'm here.
Councilman Justin Jordan,
Yes, ma'am, I'm here.
Councilwoman Beth Helms,
Yes, ma'am, I'm here.
and Councilwoman Amanda Butler.
Hi, I'm here.
Thank you so much. I'm going to turn this over to the city administrator. He will give us an update on what is now Tropical Storm Ian, tell us what predictions are being made, provide a recommendation to us, and explain what gains there are that come from his recommendation. He may involve some other staff members. Adam, if you will, please.
Yeah, unfortunately, we have a lot of experience in declarations such as this for purposes such as this. And so before we really get into this, I would like to turn it over to Chief Lee Hendrick, who is our emergency operations manager. Let him give us an update on the storm, where it is, and the anticipated effects, and then we can go into the purpose of the meeting.
And Mr. Emmerich, before we do that, I think I, for the record, should say that the agenda consists only of consideration of the establishment of a declaration of emergency.
That is correct. And we have notified the media pursuant to the rules that govern emergency meetings, and we've posted the meeting as well.
Thank you so much.
Good morning. Good morning, Mayor and Council. Ian is moving off the eastern shore of Florida as a high-end tropical storm with sustained winds of 65 miles per hour. It's moving to the northeast at 8 miles per hour. The track is trending towards the eastern coast of South Carolina with an expected landfall somewhere around Hilton Head or Charleston tomorrow. The trends in the cone of uncertainty to this point have the storm trending more towards the right side of the cone, which could potentially bring the eyewall closer to Myrtle Beach as a high-end tropical storm or a low-end Category 1 hurricane sometime tomorrow afternoon. The forecast will make Ian comparable to Hurricane Matthew as it makes landfall, which could result in damage to trees, power lines, roofs, and awnings. The estimated rainfall amounts are trending higher today with values of 6 to 8 inches and locally as high as 10 to 12 inches. The storm surge along the Horry County coast is forecast to be as high as 3 to 5 feet, which could affect the Waccamaw River. The models trends more towards the north and east, which could bring higher rainfall values into the upper end of the Waccamaw River Basin, and that is also a cause of concern for us in the long term. The National Weather Service will provide a detailed update on the potential for riverine flooding later today, and our tornado risk is marginal into the afternoon tomorrow into Friday night. We will move to OPCON 2 immediately following this meeting and OPCON 1 tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. The Emergency Operations Center will be staffed today and through tomorrow and into Saturday, and we'll begin to assess the damages on Saturday morning following the storm's push out. We'll continue to monitor the updates from the National Weather Service and other local authorities, and we'll provide updates as they become available. I'll be glad to take any questions you may have.
Thank you. Are there questions?
Mayor, I think the one thing to note here is the fact that we've seen what can happen with a storm that we are unprepared for, or at least not prepared enough for. And we don't want to take that risk again. With Hurricane Joaquin in 2015, we're sort of in the same boat we are now, where we were we thought that it had passed. We thought that we'd escaped without any damage, and the last band of that storm left us with one of the worst floods in history and a lot of damage. The wind is always the unknown with a hurricane. We never know what we're going to get, where the damage is going to be. The flooding, we sort of have a handle on, at least where flooding will be, what impacts that is going to be. But the wind is always the wild card, and that's really where we our concern here at this point is wind primarily, I believe, and secondarily to that, the potential for flooding. On the National Weather Service call this morning with the state of South Carolina, someone asked if we had concerns with the Waccamaw River flooding, and the answer was yes. I think we're not anticipating a flood like we've had in the past in a few years, but the potential is there. And of course, any storm that comes up through our basin and into North Carolina, all that rain runs into us as well. So that is something we're preparing for, that uncertainty as well. The wind speeds that we've seen modeled anticipate the tropical storm level winds hitting us as early as tomorrow at 8 a.m., which means we'll need to make some adjustments into what vehicles we can have on the road at that time, so that we don't risk injuring or putting our staff at risk. So those are things we're considering. As you know, the governor has declared a state of emergency, and Horry County has declared a state of emergency. We certainly expect to have the same impacts here locally as that are anticipated at the state and county level. And that's why we're suggesting a localized state of emergency for the city of Conway.
Absolutely. I certainly understand also your concern for larger vehicles and the safety of our employees. I'm also concerned about the general safety of our employees if it only has to do with traveling back and forth from home to work. I think that we should also consider at some point, I'm not certain today, or it sounds like certainly by tomorrow, closing our operations until such time as we're safe again. Have you given any thought to that?
We have, yeah. We've done that in the past for a number of events. I think for the most part, we've been appropriately cautious with our staff being on the road, getting to and from work. What I would like to do is make that determination this evening once the latest forecast comes out at the 6:30 forecast. We have a hotline set up for our employees to call in with updates on whether they need to come to work tomorrow. And what I'd like to do is update that. I think as of right now, we are leaning toward closing tomorrow to be prudent. But if the storm tracks further east all of a sudden and misses us, I'd hate for us to be closed and not be able to provide the services that are needed absent the storm. So I think at this point, I think if the storm were coming in an hour, we would close for sure.
Absolutely.
But we have a little bit of time to be able to track the storm better and make that determination this evening. Not too late into the evening. I really do feel like after that 6:30 update, we'll know where we are with the storm, and make that call and make that update and put it out, push it out. We'll let our employees know now to check that hotline, but that would be what I would recommend.
Thank you so much. Does anybody else have comments or questions before I make a motion?
Hey, Adam, hey, Mayor. William
Yes, go
here.
ahead, William.
Thank you. Adam, assuming that we do close tomorrow, like things that, not important, but like, trash pickup and that things, would that be rescheduled for the next business day, or how would you?
Yeah, I think we are working with our solid waste department right now on how to handle that. It's windy enough out there right now that they're already a little bit concerned with those trucks. I think we're going to try to run a commercial route at 4 a.m. in the morning to be able to pick up commercial trash and get it out of there quick. We have considered pushing that into the daylight hours at 6 a.m., but I think then we're worried about it being, then it might be too windy. So we are considering that now. I think we will push out a message whether we're going to be able to pick up on Saturday or do a double route on Monday. I don't think we've made that decision yet, but it's certainly something we're considering. I think given the wind expectations for tomorrow, we will not be able to pick up trash, even if we were open, just because those trucks are more likely to topple over in high wind.
Right. Very good. Thank you, sir.
I assume, Adam, that any halting of our regular services would probably need to come through an action by council as well.
Now, once you declare a state of emergency, it gives us the latitude
Wonderful.
to be able to make those decisions in a split second.
Well, the question was made only because if you needed any particular authorization, I was going to make that a part of the motion that I'm about to make.
Well, thank you. You can, it won't hurt.
Okay, I'll do that. Well, I offer a motion that we do at this time declare a state of emergency for the city of Conway, the duration of which will be determined based on what happens in the next 48 hours. And that we also give discretion to the city administrator to determine when and under what circumstances our operations do cease and when they begin. And every effort will be made, I'm certain, to make sure that within reason that we are providing services as well as we can. Is there a second?
Mayor, I second.
Thank you so much. We have a properly seconded motion that you've all just heard. Is there any further discussion?
Mayor, one thing I forgot to add, and Chief Hendrick has asked me to add, we have upstaffed our public safety department through Saturday, just to make sure that gets out to the public. We're prepared for the public safety impacts. We also have public works crews working overnight tonight, even though the bulk of the storm is not predicted to hit until tomorrow. We have staff on call tonight, and then throughout tomorrow and probably a 24-hour cycle starting tomorrow, we'll have upstaffed public works and people ready to respond. So I just wanted to make sure I put that in there.
Absolutely. Well, of course, we have great trust in our leadership, your knowledge, your keeping up with the tracking of the storm, and its behavior. And we're certain that you'll make the right accommodations and the right decisions relative to keeping us all as safe as possible.
Thank you, ma'am.
All right. With that said, I'll call a vote. All in favor of approving the state of emergency and authorizing the administrator, as he would be under the state of emergency anyway, to make decisions relative to staffing and the ongoing of our operations. Please indicate so individually. Mr. Larry White,
Yes.
Mr. William Goldfinch,
Ma'am?
was that a yes?
Yes, yes.
Thank you. Mr. Alex Hyman,
Yes.
Mr. Justin Jordan,
Yes.
Ms. Beth Helms,
Yes.
and Ms. Amanda Butler. Ms. Butler, we may have lost her in the process. Amanda, are you still with us?
She's still in the room.
Okay. And her vote is yes. She has just indicated that her
Okay.
vote is yes, which makes this motion carry unanimously. I believe that we have satisfied the business that we needed to at this point, but please, all council members, stay on particular alert for messages from our administration and administration. We certainly ask that you keep us aware of where we are. And I certainly wish Godspeed to all of us.
Thank you, Mayor and Council.
Thank you.
We'll entertain a motion then to adjourn at this time. Is there a motion?
So
So
moved.
moved, Mayor.
Okay, a couple of people have done it. Is there a second?
I'll second.
And I think for this, in this instance, just an aye will suffice. All in favor, please say aye.
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 That's definitely a majority, if not all of us. Thank you so much. And we'll keep everyone aware of what's going on.